Okay.
I'm glad that we weren't recording and you didn't have your headphones on when we took the little break because the noise I made standing up was so bad. Like I just like old lady noises. Like yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
didn't hear anything, so you're good.
All right, Bill, just stay over there. Jesus Christ, all these animals. Um, I'm excited. I'm really enjoying these like research episodes.
Yeah?
I'm like finding out a lot of interesting stuff, like fun facts, and I love a fun fact.
I agree with you. Do you participate in what's it called? The quizzes, like um pop quizzes that are like held in bars, not pop quizzes, but you know what I
Bar
mean?
trivia.
Yes. Do you participate in that?
Yes, I'm not. If you ask me a specific question out of the blue, I like cannot remember it.
Okay.
It it really throws me off. But if somebody's talking about something and I've recently learned a fact about it, I'm like, oh, did you know?
You're one of those.
Yes, and
I love that.
I I tell Drake this all the time. The information I know is useless. It is not like I don't know how to do complex formulas, right? I
Yeah.
know who starred in what and what year it came out and
Hmm.
who they're related to and who they're married to. And
Like
it's
the
funny,
personal life section of Wikipedia for everything.
yes. And my dad is like that too. And I'm convinced that I'm gonna have like a Slumdog Millionaire situation where
Stop.
I'm on Jeopardy or some kind of quiz show and I'm gonna know all the answers just because of these like weird scenarios and like things that I've learned.
Yeah, I love it. I agree with you. I love like downloading information, like useless information into my
Hmm.
brain and finding out where it can come out in
Hmm.
my everyday life and being like, oh, I know this.
Yeah, and I ask Drake all the time, or I'm like, I'll give him quizzes. I'm like, you remember who that actor's married to? And he's like, I don't even know who that is. And I asked him, I'm like, what is in your brain? I don't, if that information's not in there, then what is? Because
Right. What else could be occupying space up there? Because clearly nothing important. What I'm trying to
exactly,
get.
exactly.
That's funny. I agree with you. I know, like, in terms of pop culture, I.
Sorry, you can, I'm
It's
just,
okay. I know way more than I feel like I let on to people in terms of pop culture, like
mm,
things about pop culture, and even like what celebrities married to who, and which one has a kid, like stuff like that, like weird
hmm,
stuff. I don't know why I'm only focusing on celebrities, but like just weird, or what movie was made, like stuff like that. Yeah,
hmm.
I'm all about that.
I don't, and I am too. I love pop culture information. I think it's very interesting, especially as time goes on, right?
Yeah,
There's like a shift and it's really interesting to think about that. Big fan. I hate the fact that they started pop culture Jeopardy.
I agree with you
Jeopardy was already had pop culture
in
sections.
it.
And
Yes.
now we have I like Colin Jost. I think he's funny. I like him on Weekend Update. He should have stayed behind that desk. And why are there three people on a team?
I
I'm
love
really
how
angry about it now that I think about it.
you showered him with compliments and then said, "Stay in your lane.
Well,
Stay behind that desk." That killed me.
it was just not, it's unnecessary. And I hope it doesn't stick around for too long. And I'm saying that
I
as
agree with
somebody
you.
who loves Jeopardy and loves pop culture.
Yeah, I don't think it can stick around for that long. Maybe there's a lot of pop culture, but it being a subsection of the original Jeopardy made sense,
Hmm.
or subgenre, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, making it its own show is stupid, and I think pandered. Not maybe they're just trying to get a younger audience. Honestly, I think that was it. Maybe
Yeah. Young people don't watch TV.
that's another thing. They don't. They especially Gen Z. Like I really think it's like the millennials that are so aware of the pop culture. Yeah, Gen Z don't give a
They care about TikTokers and YouTubers.
yeah, who aren't
And
even celebrities in our minds.
right, because they're not on like they're not on a screen that everybody could access at the
They
same
don't
time.
have talent.
Well, that too. But hey, if we become YouTubers, though, we need to retract that statement.
I mean, we're podcasters. Like,
That's true. That's true.
so it takes one to know one. If
Mm,
anyone got offended by what we just said.
hmm. Oh, okay, let's get into it because I'm actually kind of excited to give you my fun facts.
Okay, I'm excited too.
Okay, so I'll do the intro now.
Okay.
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah. Are you watching this? You need to get with it. Are you watching this? We on a TV shit. Are you watching this? You don't wanna miss. Are you watching this? Stop canceling our shit.
Hello, and welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast, the podcast where we talk about shows you should be watching. I am Chelsea.
And I'm Ellen.
All right, let's get into it. What have you been watching this week?
Let's start with Running Point. My list
Did
is
you start it?
Yes.
Okay.
It came out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I got up to episode 5.
Okay. There's 10, I think.
Yes, there's 10. And I was already feeling some sort of way, and I just pushed through. And then I just stopped at episode 5. I think I could finish it off, but
It wasn't as good as you were hoping.
definitely not as good as I was. It felt like, I mean, so it was created by Mindy, and then the team she's worked with before, Ike Barinholtz and David Stassen and Elaine Coe. It just felt like the humor was very 2010s. It's very light. It's funny, but it's like what you would expect.
Okay.
It wasn't.
The premise that you explained to me and the information that I'd seen, it definitely felt like it would be a more in-depth show.
Yeah.
Because not like a sitcom-y kind of thing.
Well, no, when I saw it, I thought it would be like a sitcom.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it would have more depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it does. Yeah, I mean, check it out. It's like I made my sister-in-law watch it yesterday because I was like, I need you to watch this and tell me how you feel. She was laughing at the points I laughed at too, but it's not like, oh my God, that's so brilliant. Or, it's, yeah, you wrote a comedy show, but it's not enlightening or like out of this world funny.
Yeah, I had it on my. I had other stuff I wanted to get caught up before today.
Yeah.
So I hadn't watched it yet, but I had written down that I was going to start it this week. So
Please
I
do.
still will start it.
Yes,
but
please
I'm
do.
a little,
And let us know.
a little bummed that you didn't think it was as good.
You'll enjoy it, but you won't think it's revolutionary. I'll be. Yeah, it's not revolutionary. That's the word I'm looking for. And I'd be interested to see if it does get picked up for a second season.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like if it came from anybody else, it wouldn't. But because I feel like, they have known creators on the show and writers on the show, I can see it being a sort of nepotism or whatever you call it, kind of favor being done if it does get picked up for a second season. And also the cast is solid. So yeah, the acting is great. It's just
Okay. Bill, before we forget,
yes,
we need to talk about White Lotus, and we need to talk about the new intro music.
We need to talk about that now. What have you been watching? Yeah.
Well, I caught up or watched White Lotus last week, and I wrote it down twice, and I cannot believe they changed the intro music.
I agree.
Why would you? Everybody loves the intro music. It's like a thing people tweet about and make TikToks about. Like
but you don't like this new one?
No, it's so boring.
But it goes with the theme.
I don't care.
All right. Well,
I also Patrick Schwarzenegger's character.
Yeah.
If he is not acting 100%, I hate that character so much.
I agree. I think. Have you watched Gen V? He's also in Gen V, the spinoff of The Boys.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And he sort of plays like a dick in that show too. I really think that's his range, and I think it's because it's who he is.
I was about to, yeah. Because in a similar vein, Jack Quaid, who's on The Boys, he plays the same character in every show and movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I think he's cute. I think the character he plays is cute.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he gets typecasted because of his look,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I guess maybe you could say the same for what's his name?
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Patrick, yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger, yeah.
The last episode of White Lotus, I didn't even like write anything down. Usually if I have something that pops in my head, I'll write it down on my phone so I don't forget.
Yeah.
It felt kind of not a filler episode, but a bridge episode.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm still invested in the season, but
Yeah. What do you think about the thought? I saw this after I watched the last episode. The thought of White Lotus being a show that should actually drop all its seasons at once. I mean, all its episodes at once.
yeah, I could see that being true because that's how I watched the first season,
Yeah.
and
That's how I watched the second season, and I enjoyed it way better. I think the storytelling with the in between episodes to get to the end of like the why the fuck really can lose the audience or make an audience not want to watch, the following week or keep up with it. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean I'm definitely gonna watch the next episode, but I just was kind of like, okay,
I agree.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get murdered.
Yeah. But when? Yeah.
Oh,
I do want to add that I'm actually giving it like one more. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow because it comes out Sunday today, and I am getting it one more like soon after watch. And if it's as kind of just shifting the storyline, I'm gonna wait till the end of the season to watch the rest of it.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's just my thoughts. I did want to ask you, do you still feel the same about Parker Posey?
Less so.
Okay.
It's growing on me. She's growing on me. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the accent I feel like is toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
For some reason, it was in the first episode, she said certain words that I was like, that's not how Southern people say it.
Okay.
Or it's such an exaggerated version. But
Of how it's, yeah.
And I haven't really picked up on that as much.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of her character, and I think I originally was envisioning her being more of like a traditional Southern mom, but she's actually kind of playing more of a eccentric Southern mom.
Yeah.
And once I kind of picked up on that, I was like, that makes a little bit more sense too with her character.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you.
Yep,
I'm sorry. I just had to fight a little for my girl Parker.
I was confused by it.
It's okay.
I didn't say anything hateful yet.
No, you weren't the only one. A lot of, it was a topic on the internet, and yeah, some people had issues with it.
At least I wasn't alone.
Never are. What else have you been watching?
Well, I caught up on Love is Blind today. I watched the 3 episodes, and I cannot believe I watched all 3 of those episodes, and we still haven't seen anybody get married yet. I was so pissed.
Does it get better?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I actually probably just wait. Like, I'll probably just watch the reunion. I don't even know if I'll watch the weddings because
Wow.
What's the point?
Yeah. Do you kind of know, or not know, but like have guessed who might say yes and who might say no?
Yeah, but I don't know. And I don't
Yeah.
really care at this point.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I will say they did this season or these past couple episodes, they did their bachelor and bachelorette parties. The guys go to the Vikings like training facility and get to throw around some footballs. The girls go to the Mall of America.
Stop. What?
Yes.
A place I can take myself?
I know like that's what Minneapolis is like known for.
But no, that's so bad.
I know.
Like you get the boys a whole like behind the scenes experience of one of the best stadiums in America right now, and like, and then for the ladies, you literally take them to a place that I have been easily, like whenever I go to Minneapolis. What are you talking about?
I know.
That's
I can't.
nuts.
I can't.
And it's such a big. Have you been there?
Yeah, but I was a little.
Okay. Yeah. So I have family in Minnesota.
Mm.
Um and I haven't been there the last couple of times I've gone, but I go almost every year cuz my cousin, I try to go for her birthday. And yeah, Mall of America, there's just so much going on in Minneapolis, I feel like. That's horrible. Like even just do a spa day for the girl, something. That's terrible.
Yeah. Somebody online said it's because they spent all of their money on their music budget since they
Stop.
actually got actual songs this year.
Yes, I heard that. Yes.
So I was like, maybe yeah, maybe they ran out of money.
That's funny. Or maybe they were watching it back and were like, as they were editing and they're like, these people suck. Let's not spend. Let's let's cut the spending budget here. It's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Probably. All I'm gonna say.
Well, with reality shows, did you watch Traders?
I have not. I have not.
Ooh, okay. Well, all I'm gonna say is that it ends with a cliffhanger, and I
Okay.
think next week's episode is the final episode.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so. I think that's why I was like, let me wait because I figured they would end it with a cliffhanger and I don't have it in me to wait because the remaining people are doing a lot. And I feel like it's they're all gameplay, they're all insane in that way. Yeah. But is it a good episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It was good. I enjoyed it a lot, so I'm excited to watch the finale. I always think about this when I watch reality shows, reality competition shows, and we've
Yeah.
talked about like, do you think you could be on one?
Mhm.
And I forgot somehow that I always think I couldn't be on this show because I would take everything so personal. If you put my name down, I would have a vengeance for you for the rest of my life.
That's what literally when we talked about this, that is what I said. Like I would take it too personal. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I would be crying trying to defend my name around that round table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a game.
Yes.
And this everybody's getting really close, so it is kind of getting emotional when they're making these votes.
Yeah.
And again, if you wrote down my name,
Especially if we like had some sort of an alliance or like it was just out of the blue because someone got in your ear. Like that betrayal, like that happened maybe 2 episodes ago, maybe the last episode. I don't even know.
I would go on Twitter as soon as I left, and I would just be bad mouthing these people.
That's so funny. Also, this is why you should watch. Was it season 1 or 2? Anyways, watch both because they do the reunions and then they have to face each other. Like it's great, but one was better than the other.
I'm planning on watching him, and I want Drake to watch it because I think he'll like it. So when
Yeah.
the season's over, we'll sit down and watch it. I did also find or came across Dylan Efron's TikTok page, and I was like, follow.
That's funny. What does he do on there? Like manly stuff?
Well, actually, a lot of it was like behind the scenes trader videos that he
Okay.
had taken. Yeah. And then I guess he went to go pick up Rob for the reunion. And
Okay.
so he like did a video of him picking up Rob at the airport
Okay, that's
in
sweet.
his white van. I don't know why he drives that, but
Where does he live? Los Angeles, I'm
I think
guessing?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing for you. I'm glad you got that thirst follow.
I'm hoping that I come across one of his videos early enough that I can leave a comment that garners any kind of attention.
I'm hoping for that now too.
Although one time I made a comment on a TikTok video, and I was the first one of the first ones to do it. It was on a video of Jeremy Allen White talking about the bear, and I just said yes, chef. And I still that was like a year and a half ago, and I still get notifications of people liking that comment.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I regret ever saying anything.
Okay, on TikTok, can you mute like a notification from a post?
I don't think a specific post.
Okay.
You can mute notifications,
Okay.
but not
That's
for specific ones. Yeah.
Yeah, like Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, what else are you watching?
I need to talk about Paradise. Have you caught up?
No, I have on here need to catch up on Paradise.
Okay. So
I saw your
wait?
tweet. You said it was. I mean, it sounds like it's gotten really good. Like it's kind of picked up speed.
Yes. Yeah. The latest episode is one of the most intense episodes of television that I've tweeted like we've ever gotten and experienced, and I love that. I feel like if I were to compare it to shows from the past, I think the okay. If you haven't, these shows are out, so it's not spoilers. Like, and they've been out. The airplane Logan death in Succession episode, kind of like that kind
Okay.
of, like raising your heart rate in that situation. It like in that episode, or there was another comparison I had. Oh, or like the Red Wedding. This is intense, but the Red Wedding episode of Game of Thrones, kind of, just keeping
Yeah.
you at the edge of your seat. The score in it doesn't stop and dictates your mood, your everything, but the acting is so good from Sterling K. Brown. Like, when people talked about it this week when it came out, I was like, maybe it's not as amazing as they're making it sound. Like, that's a high bar, right? When you're talking about one of the best episodes of TV we've ever seen. I watched it yesterday, in fact, and I watched it with my brother and sister-in-law, and we literally took maybe another hour talking about how we felt after it. And then both my brother and I are like, we're gonna rewatch that episode.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll watch it tonight. Get caught up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good endorsement. Good endorsement.
Yeah, it's worth it, and it's worth putting up with the first 7 episodes of the show. The show is great, honestly. I think it is great.
It is. It's a little, again, I think it's a little cheesy at times.
It needs to be, though.
And I agree. And I appreciate it for that. It's just sometimes like all the scenes with Sterling K. Brown are just like so serious, so good. And then we get these other little scenes and I'm like, well, now we're being a little too cheesy. It's like these like shifts that kind of throw me out of it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
But someone did point out, like, it is from Dan Foldman, who did This Is Us. And he is, the themes that he, of shows that he writes are a bit cheesy, and I think we should all just lean into it and let it be cheesy, because the moments of the seriousness really make it worth it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I haven't even watched episode 7 yet, so
I'm telling you, you'll be here next week being like, I agree.
I'm excited.
Good. But that's it for me. I don't think I watched anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only have 2 other things to talk about. One's actually a little bit of a deep dive, though. But Joe Schmo Show, I'm still in it.
Okay.
They've done a twist where, because they're really trying to convince him that it's real.
Yeah.
So first they had him meet the creator of the show.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Dutch or something like that, Mr. Danish. But he is supposed to be foreign. He like doesn't speak English. He has a translator.
Okay.
And his translator asks him nonsensical questions like, "Do you love Mr. Dutch or whatever his name is?" And Ben's like, "Well, I love the game that he's created and I love being part of it." And she's like, "But do you love him?" And he goes, "Sure." And then she goes, "Well, he thinks it's weird that you love him." They're just like, anyway, to make him believe that it's real, they voted him out, but they're doing like a Survivor Redemption Island type thing. And so he goes to a separate house with the people that have already been kicked out. And yeah, so
I like that twist. Is it playing off cool?
That's just how they ended it. So we'll pick up with the next episode with him being in that house. So it seems like it does, but I don't know. It's the first couple episodes are really good. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I'm still into it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, and so the last one, this is the one that's a little bit longer winded. With what has happened this week, I decided, I was like, you know what? I don't know a lot about the president of Ukraine. All I know is that he was a comedian and then he became president. And I was like, you didn't know that?
No.
Okay. And so I was like, let me see what is actually true about him.
Yeah.
And so a couple of things that I just thought were interesting is he's only 47.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He does have a banging hot wife.
I believe that.
that he met at his
Can I
job
look her
as a
up?
comedian writer.
Let me look her up.
She was also a writer, and they have kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
She is hot.
but he's only the 9th president of Ukraine. His political party is called the Servant of the People, and it was created based from a show that he made called Servant of the People. So I started watching it,
Wow.
and the premise of the show,
Like he created a show?
and he was in it for 3 seasons, and it has a movie.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
It's on Netflix, so you can go watch it, and
Okay.
it's called Servant of the People. It is about a Ukrainian teacher, history teacher, who becomes president of Ukraine.
Stop.
It's wild, and it went from
Yeah.
2007 to 2009, and 2017 to 2019. And 2019 is when he became president.
That's crazy.
know.
Wow.
And the show too is I watched the first 2 episodes right before this, and it's in Russian, so you have to have subtitles.
Mhm.
We're used to that. But it's supposed to be a comedy. It's not that funny to me. I don't know if it's the humor's
Translating.
different or
Yeah.
if it's kind of like it's a dark comedy. It's like I'm not really supposed to be laughing.
Yeah.
But, he's trying to make the government not corrupt.
Wow.
It parallels so much of reality on like just different levels that it was blowing my mind. And the way that they're doing it is very clever. The way that they are
The show. Okay.
the writing, the way that they are presenting ideas. It's just it's really good. I suggest people to go watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to you for going down this rabbit hole and finding this gem. of a
Fun facts.
show. Yeah.
Fun facts, y'all. But I thought that I just thought he was a comedian, so I was thinking like a stand-up comedian.
Right.
And then even then I was like, I don't know how he became president, but sure.
No,
But
he's
it kind of makes a little bit more sense, but it's still wild.
yeah. So he's like a comedy writer.
Yes.
Okay.
And he acts in it. He's the main, character, and
he's the person who
Yeah.
plays the teacher from the
who becomes president.
That's crazy. And then his wife also wrote in it.
I think so, or she at least wrote in that same company.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's
I
crazy.
know. And again, I'm thoroughly enjoying the show. I'm definitely going to keep watching it.
Yeah, please
See
do.
where it goes.
I'm gonna try. What's it called?
Servant of the People.
Servant of the People.
And again, a political party formed from this.
From that, yeah. When did he? I don't know if you did this much research, but so the show ended in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
When and then he became president 2019 or 2020?
I think 2019.
Okay, but then I'm sure he like campaigned.
That part I don't know.
Okay,
I think it I'm just saying this off the top of my head, okay?
Yeah.
I think it is kind of like how the show is, where it was not a joke necessarily, but he knew people would support him and just did it, and then he won without really trying.
So like sort of like Trump, but like not as funny. I mean,
Well,
what happened here is not as funny.
Well, what's funny in the show is that it starts with you don't really see their faces. They haven't identified them yet, but they are higher ups, mob people, and they're talking about buying the presidency and paying for candidates, and they haven't paid for this guy, and so now they're like, how do we take him down? Because he's not corrupt. He's not going to fall for these traps that everybody else does. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Boy, doesn't it?
But I just think he reminds me of like John Oliver, Jon Stewart, like very smart, very intelligent. So the show's very smart and intelligent, and so he obviously knows what he's talking about, and it makes sense how he got where he is, and I'm amazed by it.
Also, I watched that, whatever you want to call that, with Trump and all that, and having this info now really show like the context of how he handled that situation makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So much sense.
And that's why I wanted to like look into it, because I was like, I know that he has a little bit of a background, but yeah. So
Yeah. I love that. Look at you. That's such a fun fact.
it is a fun fact. And I had several fun facts about him too, so I can't wait. I knew his age. I know how old his dad is. His dad's younger than Trump. He's only 77.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
And he's 49.
47.
47. That's crazy. Wow.
Yep. Not even 50. He's a little
Yeah,
baby.
he is. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the nominations for your consideration.
Yes.
I want to know your answer because I think it's going to be mine.
Oh, Deshaun? Yes. Her. 100%. We can do more than one, right? I feel like I haven't done one in a while, so I'm confused as to how this goes. But yes.
The thing that we've made up and make up the rules too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Nominating her for her role in Severance as Casey / Gemma.
Do you for episode 7 or for the whole?
I mean, yes, because that's as much as we. I feel like that's the only thing they could submit right now. Yeah. I hope we get to see more of her person. I feel like we will now. I hope they bring her back this season. So yeah, I would say for episode 7. Yes, definitely for episode 7. Yeah. Yeah.
That was gonna sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say that was gonna be mine, but I also, so I'll say though, since you said that, I wanted to be the director of the episode for episode 7.
Okay.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't remember.
Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're shoo-ins, honestly. I don't see how they don't get nominations for this episode.
I mean, the only way I can see her not getting nominated for directing the episode is because she's a woman.
Oh God, I hope the world is not that silly right now.
I know, but they also do the Emmys work like the Oscars do, where they campaign?
Yeah,
because for the Oscars, I know the stars who were nominated will go have dinner with the people that are in charge of voting and kind of try and sway them.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah, but I also think the Emmys, I think there are more. I think more women have won in categories than the Oscars. Definitely the Oscars, and even the Golden Globes. Lena Waithe has won for Right. I think they recognize talent and award the talent more often than the other award shows. And I also want to say her having Ben Stiller on her team on this, I think he'll campaign her right. And if he needs to pay people to get that vote, do it. I'm not above that. I think she deserves it, especially for a debut. Yeah. I just think I was gonna say seeing an episode like that on TV, I don't think we have seen often.
Not nowadays.
Yeah. And I don't see how you see that and think it's not worth awarding.
It's definitely was movie quality directing.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely that. So I think she's a shoe-in.
I hope so. Her for
her for directing, and Deshaun for she's gonna be in the guest. I looked this up because I was okay. There's a couple of shows I'm watching, and now people Adam Scott and Sterling K will be in the same category, I think, with Best Actor noms. So then I was thinking, damn, what's her name? Who was I even thinking she would be up against? Deshaun would be up against, I guess.
Oh, Brit. You tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Or
yeah, but I don't think she's had enough screen time for it to be a supporting actor or actress nom. So it's going to be a guest actress nom, is what I'm guessing.
That I think also will give her better chances.
Yes, I agree.
Kind of narrows down the category a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree. So far we're predicting that everybody on Severance wins Emmys.
But will they? Because the Penguin.
I know. So, but we've only nominated the Penguin, Severance, and Shrinking,
and Paradise.
Oh, and Paradise. Yeah.
And then Paradise. Yeah. And then Paradise this last episode. I actually do want to nominate somebody else. I want to. I didn't write it down. Do I want to? I'm gonna nominate. I'm gonna nominate him, James Marsden.
Okay, for this
I
last episode?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Because he's kind of been a side character so far, like he's
yeah.
not.
No, he's a supporting actor,
Mhm.
and I think in this episode, he, as a supporting actor to Sterling K's actor placement,
Mhm.
yes, he did what a supporting actor should do for the lead role.
Mhm.
100%. Like,
Okay.
killed that shit 100%. And I think I was only hesitant because I don't know if people are taking him seriously with this role, kind of. But I don't think you watch episode 7 and see what he is able to do for Sterling K to then emote that the responses he gives to what James Marsden does, and not credit James Marsden for helping bring him there. So yeah,
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
he's worth it. And then also my sister-in-law, when we watched the first episode, was like, just kind of like you did, I hate his character, like he's a bit of a dick. And then episode 7, she was like, there's depth. I think this season has shown depth to his character.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so for Gemma, right? That's what you're
Yes.
nominating? Yep. And then I'm
Yes.
doing the director.
Yes, and then James Marsden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll need to write these down eventually.
We're gonna have to go back.
I know. No. Okay, so then are we ready to get into this week's topic?
Yes.
Okay. So this week we are moving genres and we're moving to drama.
Yes.
Yeah. But so we did talk about at the end of last episode how we didn't mention comedy drama or
Yes.
dramedy. And so we're going to kind of discuss that first.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the other different categories of drama.
Okay. I'm kind of nervous
What?
because I'm like, I hope we have the same understanding of what a dramedy is.
I think we will.
Okay.
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 So comedy drama, aka dramedy, is a hybrid genre that combine elements of comedy and drama. There we go. It's serious, dramatic subjects such as death, illness, betrayal are handled with realism while preserving a humorous tenor.
Yes.
So it's focused on a heavy subject, but there are parts that are lighthearted, right?
Yes.
That are funny.
Yeah.
This, I guess he's a filmmaker, reviewer. I don't know, but it said Raphael Abreu, Abreu,
Okay.
wrote in 2022. Oh my God, Bill, for the Studio Binder filmmaking blog.
Okay.
He said a dramedy is a program that balances the elements of drama and a comedy. This hybrid genre often deals with real life situations, grounded characters, and believable situations. The ratio between the drama and comedy can vary, but most of the time there is an equal measure of both, with neither side dominating. And I think that's fair. So I was like, okay, what are some examples in my mind,
Yes.
or my opinion,
Yes.
that are good examples of a balanced dramedy?
Yes.
First and foremost, I think Barry is a perfect example of that.
Agreed. Yes.
Also had Desperate Housewives, which I wouldn't necessarily think that, but then when I actually thought about it, I was like, you know what?
I could give it. Yeah.
Fleabag,
Yes.
Hacks.
Yes.
Do you have any other ones that kind of come to your mind?
So when I thought of it, I was thinking of like a lot of British shows that I watched. There's this one show that came to mind immediately because it probably also I've recently rewatched it because family was watching it. It's called Breeders. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
It has what's his name? Martin Freeman in it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's on Hulu FX. It's brilliant. It's about a marriage, like a family, and the husband they have kids, and the kids. Wait, let me read the synopsis. Sorry, it is really worth talking about.
I've heard about the show. I have not watched it though.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
I like Martin Freeman a lot.
Yeah, I think he does comedy and drama well. It's a dark comedy following two parents who struggle with parenthood, and because it brings up, I'm just gonna go off. It brings up their own trauma from like how they were raised and their parents and stuff like that. So they're trying to do it differently than their parents. So I thought of that show. I thought of another show. This one's on Amazon. Why can I speak? Prime. No, Amazon Prime Video. Sorry. It's finished. It's old. What's it called? It's called Catastrophe. Have you heard of it?
I've seen like it on the Amazon Prime, but I have not watched it.
It's worth watching. It has Sharon Hogan in it, who she's in Bad Sisters on Apple TV. And it also has Rob Delaney, who's a comedian who I think is funny. I would say he's funny. I follow him on Twitter. And if basically they hook up, she gets pregnant, and then decide to keep the baby, and they just had to make it work. And it's going through that. So yeah, it was just British shows coming up in my mind, and I was like, I think they're all drama, comedies, dramedies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are good examples. I think Bad Sisters was another example that I saw listed online, which I haven't watched that either. So
Bad Sisters, I would say, is drama. If we're saying 50-50,
or close to, I would say max 60-40.
Okay, maybe I could be convinced.
But it's not as funny. It's not.
No, it's not
as much
as
on the funny
funny.
side. Oh, okay.
No, it's not as much as the funny side.
Well, so I had a list of questionables that I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
And see what your opinions. Because these were listed online as dramedies.
Okay.
I May Destroy You.
No.
Same.
No. Yeah. No.
Parenthood.
No.
Same. Succession.
No.
See, I kind of lean towards yes, because I think it was a little bit more subtle, but each episode had significant moments that were funny.
I agree.
So
But
I think the ratio is there. It just was slightly more subtle.
I just don't think it was like silly situation. Maybe though. More so in the God. I was gonna say more so in the later seasons, but no. Even in the early seasons, there were like silly situational issues. Like, I mean, the whole him rapping thing was ridiculous. But I just don't think it was like a laugh out loud funny. I think it was more so like I don't know, mental stimulation funny.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like WandaVision?
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, I thought you did watch it.
No. I
Okay.
haven't
So
watched
then
it yet.
what about Atlanta?
Oh, that's a comedy.
Yes. Okay. So then that's why I said I would say that's more of a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Because the definition of dark comedy is a style of comedy that makes light of subject matter that is generally considered taboo, particularly subjects that are normally considered serious, painful to discuss. So for that, I think Atlanta makes more sense as a dark comedy because it's making light.
I guess. Yeah.
It's definitely not a dramedy.
No,
so if you're saying it's a
dramedy.
comedy, it's a dark comedy.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy. I also think it's not a dramedy because I think even the style of episodic, things that we get, like the episodes that we get it's not drama, So yeah, I would say it's more dark comedy.
And then I have a list of what I think, there's only 4 in here, but that are not examples of dramedy, despite the fact that they are listed under it.
Okay.
The Bear.
No.
The Boys.
No.
Fargo, which I don't know. Have you watched any of Fargo yet?
I watched the first season.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
And
You
Wilfred,
wouldn't say that. What would you say Fargo is a drama? What would you say Fargo is?
probably a drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see how it could be campaigning
Maybe a
for a
dark comedy, but I think the Fargo movie is definitely a dark comedy.
Yeah.
The show doesn't quite have that comedy feeling
Yeah.
that the movie does.
I think I agree with you. Yeah.
So, because this is what I wrote is that, oh, and I said Wilfred. Have you watched Wilfred?
No, I
The
have not.
US or Australian show?
No.
So, I said that all of these examples that I said are not examples of a dramedy, is that they lack humorous laughs. So you're not laughing out loud at moments. And often in these shows, the laughs come from the extreme nature of the show, not actually like comic relief. So you're laughing at like the tension and how kind of uncomfortable it's making you feel because it's such a dark or like a intense situation. Like the bear, I feel like half the time I laugh just because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this on TV. I'm so stressed out.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even get a laugh out of me. But yeah.
I mean, I only laugh when Maddie Matterson's on there.
I think it's like a specific character that is the comedic relief of the show, but
Right.
not every character is funny.
And he's a minor character too.
Yeah.
And so I also said that the majority of the show, those shows are dramatic. So like a 90% drama and like 10% comedic relief.
Yes.
And even the 10% comedic relief, I even broke down farther where like 5 is comedy of actual laughs and the other 5 is just due to the extreme nature.
Yeah, like situational. Yeah, I agree with that. What would you say Veep is?
I think it's just a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Maybe a dark comedy, but because it's making light of our political system.
Yes, you know, the best way.
Yeah,
ever.
but it's also pretty realistic.
Yeah, that's
based on what I've heard.
Drama is. That's why I could argue for it being a dramedy, but.
And then because I brought up dark comedies or black comedies, I wrote 3 examples of what I would consider like real, like actual dark comedies.
True. Yeah.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
And Strangers with Candy. Did you ever watch that?
No, haven't heard of it.
It is so weird. As Amy Sedaris, she's the main character. She plays Jerry, I think it's Jerry Blankenship, who is like a 35-year-old woman who's going back to high school because she never graduated. Stephen Colbert is like one of her professors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Candy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just writing it down. I'm not gonna Google it yet.
It's a dark comedy for sure.
All right. Was it like 2010s to early 2000s?
Early 2000s,
okay.
yeah.
That's what it's sounding like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like those examples that you gave of the dark comedies, and I agree with the ones I've seen.
Okay. So I think at least we are on the same page of what a dramedy is. It's a show that has a balance of drama and comedy and almost equal parts. Maybe not every single episode, but like throughout the series, there's a good balance of both.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I'm like, do I want to take back my Succession not being a dramedy?
I mean, there's a lot that either overlap with other categories or are borderline. Yeah. And I questioned Succession, and when I really thought about it, I just remember the show. There's just parts of it that were just so ridiculous. They're making fun of these people.
I agree. Like it's funny, but I think my only argument would be, is it funny because we get it? I feel like comedy, it would be the majority of people would have to get it.
Well,
like you understand that this character is playing into, or not playing into, but like is trying to be funny or is dumb, and everyone else thinks that like they're either laughing with them or laughing at them, right? And I think I would argue with Succession, I don't think anyone was laughing with everybody, like any of those characters. Maybe laughing at them at some points, but I don't. Yeah,
laughing at them definitely was
more so.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my only take on the comedy part of the dramedy.
If you're saying for it to be comedy that half of the people, you mean like half of the audience?
Yeah.
I don't know with our current population if any shows would then fall under comedy.
I agree with you, but I'm
Unless
giving the
it's
people
like,
something.
The Big Bang Theory. Just saying. That show has jokes that everybody would get.
Do they though? Because I didn't get one joke on there.
Did you not get them, or you just didn't find them funny?
I didn't get why they were found funny, so I didn't get them. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times we'll shit on The Big Bang Theory.
All the time. Like I'm taking that shit down every chance I get.
I still support Young Sheldon.
I have no comment.
Well, then let's get into drama.
Okay.
Which I'm titling this episode, Oh, the Drama.
I love that.
So the definition, just simplified, of drama is a genre of narrative fiction intended to be more serious and humorous in tone.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
I think that makes sense.
Yes.
Just a little background. In 1928, the very first full-length program broadcast in the U.S. was a drama, and it was a one-act called The Queen's Messenger. And in the same year, the Federal Radio Commission had authorized regularly scheduled television broadcasting.
Okay.
So drama, I think, was kind of one of the first ways people were introduced to television.
Okay.
And what it was too. So the way that I'm going to kind of talk about this is, first I want to talk about soap operas, and the way that TV also came about was it was a, like when this one came out in 1928, it was a silent video, and you would listen to the show on the radio.
Okay.
Because, radio dramas and soap operas started on the radio. That's like what people did.
Yeah.
So, as I said, to talk about the history of TV, drama and TV, we have to talk about soap operas.
Okay.
Soap operas are characterized by a permanent cast of actors, a continuing story, emphasis on dialogue instead of action, a slower than life pace, and consistently sentimental or melodramatic treatment. Which I was like, yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They began in 1930s, which I thought that was a little late, but it lines up with everything else I found too, as 15-minute radio dramas that were targeted to housewives during the day.
I see that.
All the housewives on Quaaludes. So because of this, soap advertisements were promoted during these radio broadcasts.
Oh, okay.
Which,
yeah.
Marketing. And they actually kind of talk about this on Mad Men.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. So companies like Procter & Gamble, P&G, produced many of their own radio dramas to promote their products. And so I went to go Google this, or I wanted to find out like what some examples of original ones that they did back in the 30s were.
Like original shows or products that they were advertising?
I guess both, but the shows that they were making.
Okay.
But they're still doing it today. They had a whole blog post. Everybody should go look at this because it is both amazing marketing, but also so bad.
Okay.
They had a show, a soap opera that was released this year, February 24th, called Beyond the Gates. It's on Paramount Plus, so you can go watch it. Have you watched it?
I have not. I saw the trailer and I said, oh, this is terrible. Wait, P&G created that?
Well, I guess in partnership.
Okay.
And it is to promote their products like Febreze and stuff like that. And they talk about it in their blog post. So everybody should go Google that because it was... And yeah, it's just...
I'm going to check that out because it's an old black cast, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that's like what they were also trying to promote about it. And I was like, that seems weird, especially if it's P&G doing it.
This is terrible.
I know.
This seems specifically targeted.
Yes, it is. Now, again, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, sticking to your origins.
Evil origins.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah, when I saw that show and I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, it's like a, it's a black show. I got to check this out." And then I saw it was like a what were they trying what are they marketing it as? Like the first black soap opera?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, "Okay." And you watch the trailer and you have to have the context of it being a soap opera, but I was like, "I will check this out later." Like I'm not excited for this cuz it looks a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I know P&G is behind this is evil. It is meant to be a mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
I know. Again, you should
oh
go look at their blog post
no.
too.
I will. What's the blog post called?
I mean, if you just Google PNG soap opera, it'll be like one of the first ones that pops up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
even the language on it, it's so bad.
I believe it. Ah, everything in me is
I
crawling.
know.
Okay. God. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
Okay, so the term soap opera stuck as radio shows transitioned to television, which was in the 1950s, right? That's when like
Yes.
TVs really started popping off. So the introduction of dramas to television followed the same path as soap operas. So I'm going to give a couple examples. You've seen the movie A Christmas Story?
Yes.
And he's listening to these radio dramas.
Yes.
He's like tuning in.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the specific one, but Lone Ranger was a really big one.
Yes.
It was on the radio from 1933 to 1954.
Okay.
And then the TV show started from 1949 to 1957.
Okay.
And then another example is Dragnet. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
It's like a mystery. You know the trope that SNL does of a black and white
Yes.
movie with the lady coming in to find a detective.
Yes.
It's that.
Okay.
So that was on the radio from 1949 to 1957.
Okay.
And then it moved to TV, or the TV show started in 1951 to 1959.
Okay.
And then the last example is Gunsmoke. It started on the radio 1952 to 1961, and then was on TV from 1955 to 1976.
Oh, damn. That had a long run.
Yeah. Gunsmoke and Lone Ranger, again, we're talking about dramas. They're classified as Westerns, but
yeah.
let's not nitpicky here.
Yeah.
And were you going to say something?
I was just going to say also, I feel like most Westerns are drama.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So I also thought about this, which this is more of a sci-fi drama.
Yeah.
But around this time is The Twilight Zone. Did you watch The Twilight Zone growing up?
Well,
you didn't?
Is that 80s?
No. So The Twilight Zone started in 1959 and ran through 1964.
Oh, okay. Definitely not. Okay.
And I found this are some like little fun facts. Okay. I really love The Twilight Zone. I think it was revolutionary TV. I think that it's a staple, and Jordan Peele like did a revive of it. Yes. I think that shows like the testament of the place that it had and what it did.
Yeah, in the TV landscape. Yeah.
So, do you know who Rod Serling is, the host of it, though?
I've heard of him,
okay.
Yes.
So, by the late 1950s, Rod Serling, who is the executive producer, head writer, and the host of Twilight Zone, he was already really well known within American TV because he had been in shows Patterns, which was for craft television theater. So these companies, once again, were promoting Requiem for a Heavyweight. But he got really frustrated by the constant changes and edits by the networks and sponsors. Okay. And so an example was in the Requiem for a Heavyweight, the line "Gotta Match" had to be cut because the sponsor sold lighters.
Okay.
And then other programs had similar strikings of words that might remind viewers of competitors to sponsors, including one case in which the sponsor, Ford Motor Company, had the Chrysler building removed from a picture of the New York skyline. Yeah. So he created the series kind of to take care of that because he was going to be in charge of it and he didn't want to have to deal with it. So he made his own job.
I love that for him.
What I also thought was interesting, just because we were talking about drama TV from, going from radio to TV, that transition. Yeah. The BBC did a radio drama of Twilight Zone, but it was in 2002 and ran through 2012.
Oh wow.
Because
That's a long
the
time.
BBC does have kind of regularly radio dramas,
Yes, they do.
which I like.
I think still to this day, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can do that.
So I thought that was just interesting, just that
Yeah.
kind of transition and that role reversal.
The Twilight Zone is in black and white, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Which, I mean, there were 70s reiterations of it. I think maybe it was a movie that was done,
Yeah.
but the original series was
Black and white.
black and white.
Do you
And
think
it
it's
was
something everyone should go back and watch?
100%. Now, I will say, I don't want to say forced to watch, but I loved it, and so I watched a lot of it as a child.
Yeah.
And for somebody, if you're a child with anxiety and or a child under 12, they gave me nightmares. I was pretty terrified.
I believe that. Yeah.
And even actually now as an adult, sometimes I watch the episodes and they get in my head a little bit.
That's funny. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good though. Everybody should watch
Watch it.
Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Okay.
So another example of dramas that were really just ones that I guess popped in my head when I was thinking of, okay, we are progressing forward. We were in the 50s to 60s. What are some of the other shows that come to my mind?
Yeah.
And one of them,
Sorry. One other thing.
yes.
Would you say the Twilight Zone is, I'm guessing not if you were able to watch it more so, but would you say it's as weird or odd as like Twin Peaks?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, because it's different stories in each episode, and they are bizarre, but they are based around real things.
Okay. Got you.
Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
Twin Peaks is based off of nothing that is real except
Yeah.
a town.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Got you. Sorry. Keep going.
No, you're good. The other one I thought of was Bonanza. Have you ever heard of Bonanza?
I feel like I have.
It was on from 1959 to 1973. That one also, I think, technically is more of a Western.
Okay.
There is a podcast that is called Bonanza for Bonanza, like bananas for Bonanza, but it's
Okay.
and it's hosted
Yeah.
by Andy Daly, who he is a comedian and actor that he's been in like everything, but not the main role of.
Yeah.
He's worked a lot with Conan, and Conan's producer for his podcast is on it. I don't listen to it. Drake listens to it religiously, and he thinks it's the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
Because Daly plays a character that he calls what's his first name? Something Wilcox, and he plays this character the whole entire time throughout the podcast.
Okay.
And they're revisiting the episodes of Bonanza, and there's like 300 of them or something.
Oh,
and they
dang.
go through each episode, and they also do not hold up at all. So, and they like kind of talk about it. It is funny.
Okay. You've listened to some episodes?
Some of it, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But Drake just thinks it's like the funniest thing ever.
Okay. Well, that will be a testament to your husband's humor when people give it a listen.
Yeah.
And connect the two.
That's for sure. The last example I guess I have of kind of this time frame is Dallas, which was from 1978 to 1991.
Yes. Heard of Dallas.
Are there any other that you can think of that would pop in your mind around that same time frame?
I never watch old timey things. So
I don't.
know.
The only thing is like Twilight Zone is
Yeah.
one, but this was all kind of
Maybe like Dynasty.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Trying to think like what's popping up in my head right
Mhm.
now. But I'm also gonna name shows that they have revived recently.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Old timey shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
So then we get into like the more modern style TV dramas, and they're different than what they were during the golden age of TV, which was from like the 50s to 70s.
Yeah.
So the way that they've kind of shifted now is that they're not episodic in nature. They have an overarching plot that is advanced each episode. And in general, unless you're me, you cannot pick up these shows in the middle or skip episodes or whole seasons unless you're me.
Unless you are someone that watches TV the way it should be watched. Yes.
Whatever. They're meant to be watched beginning to end like a movie.
Yes. That makes sense.
And
As in like the season of the show?
yes,
Okay,
or just I
yes.
mean the whole series, but definitely a
Okay.
season. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there are subcategories, and I just kind of went through them, and then whatever shows popped in my head is what I wrote as examples. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go through them, and I want you to kind of also
Add into. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the first one is crime drama.
Okay. Crime drama is okay.
I
Go ahead.
listed Dexter.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Sopranos.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I've actually never watched. I need to.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay, we do need to do that at some point.
Yes, we do.
I know it's good. It's just one of those things like I just haven't had the energy to sit down. Like that is a journey,
Yes.
and you got to sit down and do
Exactly. Have you done The Wire? Which I also
it.
think
No,
might be a
that's
crime
another
drama.
one that yeah.
Okay.
Another category is political drama,
Oh, okay.
and I wrote down The Newsroom
That's a good one because I've recently watched that.
and Jeff Daniels.
Kills it. As in, like attractive or
He kills that role, but also Jeff Daniels in the 90s was real good looking.
Okay, sure.
Not in Dumb and Dumber, okay? Go. Did you ever see that movie Fly Away Home with Anna
No.
Paquin with the geese?
No, I know what you're talking about though. He's done that, huh?
So sad. And
Yeah.
I watched it as an adult recently, and I was like, man, I would have totally been attracted to Jeff Daniels if I was alive or like his age at this time.
I agree. Then speaking of Aaron Sorkin political dramas, I would have to say The West Wing.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because the other category is legal drama, and I put Law and Order. Because that's more of a legal than
law.
Political, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would do Suits. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that more of a drama?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Suits is a drama.
Okay. I also listed Better Call Saul.
Is that a legal drama?
I mean, he's a lawyer.
Oh, I did not know that. His
partner's a lawyer. Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, you haven't watched Breaking Bad, so
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And from what I know from Breaking Bad, I didn't know the iterations had like different, I guess, sub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's before he even meets Walter, and so it's well, most of it's before he meets Walter. So it's more about his legal journey becoming a lawyer and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Would you say it's better than Breaking Bad?
100%. And if you're going to choose between watching Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, it's Better Call Saul.
You don't need to see Breaking Bad to watch Better Call Saul.
There would be
now
things
I
that would
don't
make
trust asking you these kind of questions though. So
no, it's one of those things that like certain things would make more sense. Yes. If you've watched Breaking Bad, the time frame would make a little bit more sense. There's some references, but to enjoy the plot and the character development, you don't have to, because again, it's a prequel. So these characters are being developed from new
before.
Yeah.
Yes, gotcha.
Like new origins or whatever.
Yeah.
So that we also have historical drama.
Oh, that's I guess The Crown.
I put I put Downton Abbey and Mad Men because there's also docudrama, and so that's like The Crown, The Act, Chernobyl, those kinds of things.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. What was the one you said for historical drama?
Downton Abbey and Mad Men.
Mad Men's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, especially it's a newer historical, like it takes place in more modern times. Yeah. And then there's teen drama.
Oh, I could go forever. I'm gonna go with The OC.
I did Gossip Girl.
That's a good one.
Because the OC to me, and I think I've seen it some other places classified it more as a dramedy. because there's a little bit more humor in it. But I don't think there's enough humor.
No, there's one. It's Seth. It's Adam
Yeah.
Brody's character. That's
Yeah.
humorous. Truly the only person. Everyone else on that show is depressing as fuck.
Well, the Summer, she's funny too, but
She's funny when she's with Seth.
yeah,
I
okay,
think,
fair. Yeah.
yeah.
And then docudrama. Are there any other ones that you can think of?
Apart from The Crown, docudrama. The Act.
Mm-hmm.
No, I actually can't. Is there anything else that popped up?
I mean, I guess
Let's see.
that Monsters, the Menendez brothers.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Did you not like that?
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was good.
I hear. Yeah, I watched it.
Their comedy drama. We already talked about that.
Yes.
And then they technically had fantasy drama and sci-fi drama as different things, which I did kind of understand, but I lumped them together because I think there was too much overlap for my personal preference.
Dang. Okay, what overlaps? I need to know.
Well, so I put WandaVision as a sci-fi or fantasy.
Okay, yeah, that's one.
Game of Thrones.
That's definitely fantasy.
Yeah, that one's a little bit. Legion, because it's not.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I think I haven't watched it, so I put it down. I was hoping you could give feedback. Fringe,
sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then also put the OA. Did you ever watch the OA?
I did.
Such a good show.
Such a good show. I would say that's sci-fi.
It is more sci-fi, but it's a little fantasy because remember, especially in the last season, there's that giant octopus that was like,
yeah,
they started introducing these like more mythical characters.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I just feel like when you get into sci-fi, they often have
mythical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last category I have written down is horror drama.
Oh, okay.
Which the way they classified this was about people or like a population being removed and isolated. So because they said that, I said The Last of Us.
That's a good one.
Because I kind of originally would think it would be sci-fi, but I think it's more of a horror drama.
It is, yeah.
And then also
that description.
Yeah, it was the description that is what really got me.
Yeah.
And the last one was True Detective.
You don't think that's did you say crime drama? You don't think that's a crime drama?
Mm-mm. Okay. No. Have you watched?
Only the first season.
But the first season even is, well, really, I guess it's the last season that I would more classify as horror drama.
Yeah.
But all of the seasons, there's some form of other, like not, there's either like witchcraft or aliens or something of that nature. And usually it's targeted towards a group of people that have been isolated.
Yeah. Fair.
More so the last season, kind of the first season.
Okay.
So, and then I just listed a couple of other just really good dramas I thought in general. Mm-hmm. I think Lost is probably one of
medical dramas.
Oh yeah, it was not listed on.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did actually. I meant to write that down because I wanted to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Because what would you? I mean, obviously we got
Grey's.
Now we got The Pit.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately growing on me, but I still don't like any of the characters.
Really? I hear there's this one male character that's
not the main doctor?
No, like you love to hate him or hate to love him or something like that. He's like a bit of a dick, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably the one that his intern's accusing him of stealing drugs.
Okay.
She just needs to mind her own business.
Clearly. And then I think pinnacle of all pinnacle medical dramas is the ER.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which Noah Lyle or whatever his name is, he was in ER.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't either. But they had big names on that show. I feel like
George
Clooney being the main one. But did you hear what's the Pit is being sued for being the person who created the ER or the estate that created the ER or whatever is suing the Pit for copying their show.
I mean, I think that's probably, I didn't never watch the ER, but I could see how that's probably true.
Really? Yeah, I never watched the ER too, so I don't know. But then I'm like, also just having Noah in it kind of like sell the whole they copied, But also, why would Noah sign up for a similar show like that. It's a lot going on. But yeah, that's some TV drama happening right now.
That's yeah. I did not hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh yeah. So I was saying Lost. I think is kind of one of those example of like one of the first modern TV dramas, or
Yes.
an example of one of the earlier ones.
Yeah.
Are there any others that pop up to your head? Not necessarily that are like the first, but just dramas in
Just
general.
notable dramas. Lost is a great one. I'm trying to think. I guess no, nothing really. You know, we said The Wire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's. I feel like I could name 1,000, but I don't think they're like notable.
The only other ones I listed, and I kind of just ended up listing them at the end because I didn't feel like they really fit into the different categories.
Okay, I want to hear 'em.
Super great is Big Little Lies.
Yeah, I would say that's detective.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
Another role for Adam Scott where I don't hate him.
I don't. Whose wife? I mean, whose husband is he?
Reese Witherspoon's.
Oh yeah, yeah. God, what a cast. Yeah, I agree with you.
Did you ever watch Big Love on HBO?
I did not.
That was like probably, I think I got into that show before I got into Sex and the City. I loved
wow.
Big Love so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it gave me it gave me nightmares because I have a legitimate fear. No, it's not legitimate. It's because it's based off of nothing, but a fear that I will be in a partnership with somebody and they'll want to open up the relationship or like get another wife. And so I would have,
Really?
yes. And so I'd have dreams that like my partner would be like, I think we should invite somebody else into the relationship. And it made me so sad.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Not that actually being like a fear that you dream about and it's keeping you awake at night. That's hilarious.
I blame that show. Do you watch Sister Wives
No.
on TLC? Do you know the show though?
Yes.
Do you watch anything about polygamy?
What a question.
I don't.
Um, do I watch anything about polygamy? I mean, apart from like the shows, but no. Like in a drama show, I would say.
Like what?
I don't like I feel like Game of Thrones had a bit of polygamy in there.
Yeah.
You know, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I'm talking Mormon polygamy.
No. I just don't think it's that fascinating.
I do. I think it's fascinating that you get people who agree to do that.
I think it's because like so there's like the Maasai tribe in Tanzania where I'm from that they have other wives and like I feel like that's just part of history. I feel like the Bible talks about that. You know what I mean? Like
100%. I I don't have a moral problem with it. I
Yeah.
just find that I could never. And I feel like the examples, especially within the Mormon community, there's a wife that or multiple wives that get thrown to the side. You know, there's always
in the Mormon community?
yeah. There's like
They practice polygamy?
yeah.
Ah, but
Yeah.
like they don't label it that clearly.
For legal reasons, no. I mean, they don't legally marry more than one person.
Yeah.
They legally marry one person and then marry the rest in the church.
Right. So it's not like the Muslim cult. I'm pretty sure it's Muslims, right? Yeah. Who like the Islam cult, not culture, what the fuck? Religion, how they have multiple wives.
Yeah. I mean,
like
it is part of their religion in that they think like the more kids and wives that they have, the bigger their family, like the more they'll get in heaven.
Okay.
And
For Mormons.
yeah, and so it is a specific sect of Mormonism. I can't remember because there's like the LDS, which I think is the one that might allow it or kind of promote it. But then like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they don't practice polygamy.
No.
I think maybe one of their parents does or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
So it's not uncommon, but
I did not know that.
it is
at all.
technically illegal, so they have to be kind of careful about it.
Yeah. Legal in this country, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think much of it. I also think, I think the patriarchy made it so it's like that. I think there's some aspects to it where it's like, yeah, it makes sense if I'm being like weird about it in terms of like, populating a community and like it makes sense. How do I put this?
You could
Like,
have more support within a family.
yeah, like so the Maasai culture, they're herders and stuff like that. So the man goes off and it makes sense for him to have multiple wives. And the way they set up their wives, it's like every wife has a different hut for all the children they bear, and so every wife is set up. And I'm sure that's the same for like Islam culture. And it's, if the purpose makes sense, I agree with it. But
Yeah.
also I fully think the men benefit more.
I don't have a moral objection. Do you think like in the right scenario that you could do that?
Polygamy?
Yeah,
No,
you could be
I
like a
got
second.
a big ego. No,
Like I just couldn't.
no,
Couldn't.
I could not do it.
And because you remember how we were talking in Severance that Mark was trying to tell or ask Helly if she wanted to know all the details. Isn't that what
Yes.
we were talking about?
Yeah.
And how we thought that was weird. And you wouldn't want to know, I wouldn't want to know, but your mind wonders, well, if you have a husband who has other wives, like,
Okay.
you know what's happening.
Yeah, but in that aspect, you know what's happening, so it shouldn't bother you.
It would
Like,
still
if
bother me.
Here's the thing. Okay. Oh, this is a whole different podcast. But I don't think to like circle this up for myself. I don't think everyone is monogamous. I don't think everyone is polygamous.
Sure.
And I don't think everyone is, all these other things. So I think, the culture has made monogamy the one thing, but then we have people who cheat, and yeah, they don't cheat because they're not like they're polygamous. They cheat for other reasons too. But I also think some people cheat because they are forced into this one box and really they want to practice another thing. So I feel like if you are that person who is okay with practicing that other, or who like feels it's more natural to practice that other thing, I don't think you would question what they're doing and get hives over it.
Yeah, because if that's something that kind
You
of
signed up for. You signed up for.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I'm seeing more and more people have open relationships.
Yeah.
Kind of to fulfill that same need. And again, if everybody's happy and healthy, good for you. I could never. I just couldn't do it.
No, and I mean, you signed up for a monogamous relationship, so you should never expect your partner to then, do polygamy or polygamous stuff. Do polygamy.
Polygamous stuff. I will be a hypocrite though, because I have said this multiple times and I still kind of mean it. I would have multiple husbands and start a farm.
Stop. Really? That's like the men still benefit from that. What are you talking
how
about?
do they benefit from it more? Like,
because they get to have, I think not even one man should have me. So even if you do have me, it's like the biggest one. 5 men having me, they're not. No,
I'm thinking about using them more as labor for my farm.
So you just want help, like workers.
It's more of a cult, I think, actually, that I'm starting.
Hail Kier. That's funny.
That conversation really
took a turn.
Yeah. Okay, there's 3 other ones that I listed: Euphoria, Killing Eve, and Ozark.
Ozark is definitely a drama.
Euphoria, I guess it's not real. It's a teen drama, but it's not really. Teenagers should not be watching that show.
No, I don't watch it. So
you've never watched it?
I watched like the first 3 episodes. I wasn't interested.
Drake, I think after we watched all the new Spider-Mans with Zendaya, he was like, we should watch Euphoria, like, because she was in it. And I was like, I don't know if that show's for us. And so I watched the first episode to be like, should we watch it? And then I watched it and I told Drake, I was like, we should absolutely not be watching this show. And then we proceeded to watch all of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I hear.
It's too much.
Yeah, I feel like from what I've seen of it, I'm not the audience for it, but I hope everyone enjoys it.
I think there's part of the show that you would really enjoy. Some of the character interactions are really funny,
Yeah.
but it's intense.
Yeah.
It's a little too intense.
I believe it.
And then
Also,
Killing Eve, I mean, I guess I think that's a drama.
that's a drama. Yeah.
Yeah. It has some funny parts, but
Yeah. I would say it's a drama. But it's a drama.
that Killing Eve was so good.
So good. Especially that first 2 seasons. So good. I didn't finish it. Have you finished it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which I didn't. No, Drake and I did start it together. I was about to say, did he start it without me? But he suggested we watched it, and so I went into it blind, and I didn't know how many seasons or episodes there were.
Yeah.
And we got to the last episode, and Drake thought there was another season. And
Oh,
then we come to
dang.
find out there was not. And I was so mad because I was like waiting, I was excited to have one more season.
Yeah. Did they just end it abruptly then?
No,
or-
the ending 100% made sense.
You were just hoping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it literally happens right at the end. So, like, the whole episode, I was just like, can't wait to see what happens next
more.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I should finish it. It's a show I have. Like, I need to finish that. I know it's worth it.
It is.
Yeah.
Do you have any other feelings, opinions about dramas?
No, I love dramas. I'm trying to think of another notable drama. There's so many. Orange is the New Black. There's so many. Yeah, and I think they give what they're meant to give to an audience, and it's not. I think having the contracts of now comedy and drama. I love them both. Do you have a favorite? I think have we said this?
Of a drama?
Yeah. Didn't you ask me that in the comedy episode? What did you ask me? Like, do you
Yeah,
have
I asked you what your favorite comedy was. Well, I think I asked you what your favorite sitcom was.
Yeah, true. Do you have a favorite drama from I would say recent?
Probably Barry. I think Barry is
Yeah. That's a good one.
which again, we did classify that technically as a
Dramedy, but that could you can mention it here,
Yeah.
you can mention it there.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Wow,
Or
of
even
all
Better
time?
Call Saul. Or Better Call Saul.
Damn.
No, you said more recent.
More recent, yeah, sorry.
Not
You're
a-
right.
Not a, don't put me in that. Before we go, and I forgot to mention this earlier, I need to issue another correction.
Oh my god, Chelsea.
I know.
What did you say?
Last episode, we talked about South Dakota and North Dakota, and I kept saying that Sioux Falls was in North Dakota, and it is in South Dakota.
Wow.
Now, I was correct that it is the largest city in South Dakota.
Okay.
Fargo is the largest city in North Dakota. So I apologize to all of our North and South Dakotian listeners. There are a few things that I don't know.
Look at her glitching as she says it too. There was
there's a lot of things that I'm really bad at, and it's not from lack of trying. It's just like I have an inability to grasp the concept, I guess, or like remember it. One is geography.
Okay.
I really honestly don't know if I could point to them on a map. I actually could.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of states. You pointed to them, I'm like,
it's 50. That's a lot to remember. Yeah.
Countries too, continents.
I can regions. I can be like, this is here somewhere. This is here somewhere. I could do that.
I may or may not.
Oh wow.
There's some questionable ones. And it's not. I've taken multiple geography classes, and it's not because I don't care. It's just I just can't remember.
Care. She doesn't care.
No,
what she's saying.
I do because I will.
Look where you live.
When I question it, I like Google it and I look at it. I'm like, cool, got it. And then next time it comes around, I'm like, man, I don't remember where that was on the map.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
So it's that I'm really bad and don't know a lot of history.
Okay.
I cannot spell, and I'm surprised I haven't had a huge spelling error in anything that we've posted. And really, I sometimes I question my ability to read, if I'm honest.
You can read. Not too much on yourself, Chelsea. You can read.
You can. Next time you see Drake, you can ask him if I can read, because sometimes I read out loud to him and he's like, okay, well, we'll try again. Because I can't pronounce words very well.
Okay, no, I think that's fair. I feel like English is. I always say it. It's a when I pronounce something wrong and someone corrects me, I'm like, okay, is this a language we should be respecting? Like, really, when we know about the origins of this, like, all it's done for the, to the people.
Yeah.
It's the hardest language to learn too. So it's insane. I
Yeah.
don't blame anybody for messing up a word here or there.
I can barely speak English. I definitely cannot speak another language. So, yeah.
You know what? You should try learn another language and watch you speak that perfectly compared to English. 'Cause that's how hard English is.
I took 5 years of French, and you want to know how much
Okay.
French I can speak?
Bonjour.
Like 0.
What's zero in French, Chelsea?
Yeah. 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 I can.
You can count. What's one?
Uh,
There we go.
yeah. I mean, I know like up to like for 5 years, you would
Yeah.
think I'd be able to say
Do
a little
something.
bit, have like
Yeah.
conversations. Absolutely not. I can. The last French class I took was French reading comprehension, so there wasn't dialogue. It was just
Yeah.
learning how to. So I can read French a lot better. I can
Can't say the
barely
word.
speak English, so the language just doesn't come out right.
Yeah. But the thing I've learned, so I speak another language, Swahili,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't speak it as often. And the thing I have come to realize is that if you aren't speaking it, it is hard to
Mhm.
remember. And I think that's even if you're speaking English, if it's not a word you're saying as often, you're how is anyone else supposed to know how it's meant to be pronounced? So
Mhm.
I think don't blame yourself. And yeah, it's not that serious.
Well, I also refuse to believe that anybody knew how to pronounce quinoa the first time they saw it on a menu.
I agree with that 100%. Like, what are you doing correcting me as if someone else didn't correct you? And that's how we. Also, how do we even know that's the right way we're saying it?
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like somebody's playing a big fat joke on all of us, and here we are pronouncing it like quinoa when it's clearly spelled quinoa.
Again, correct. Correct. Oh man. All right. Well, then I guess that is the end of this episode. And next week we're going to wrap up, at least for now, with the TV genres, and you're gonna lead us in reality TV.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm gonna brush up on my reality TV because I've watched a lot, but it gets lost in your brain.
Yeah, it does, and it's been some years now. So
Mhm.
yeah, but I do think. Well, we'll see when I do the research. But I wanted to say I do think it's one of the most recent TV genres.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. Well, I think Bill thinks that it's time to end this. So I guess we
I
will
agree.
talk to you guys later.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you watching?
No, it's up.
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah.